Good morning. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome back.
Hi.
What? I just did a thing. Today, we're going to be talking about the rumors of an MCU character coming back after a long absence. We're going to be talking about Disney Plus just dropping every title they've ever had on the internet this morning, the Doolittle trailer, and more. So stick with us. You've got me. Hi, I'm Danielle. We've got Ed. And we have got Billy. Good morning.
Good morning, all.
Good morning, all. All right, story number one, MCU characters returning on Disney Plus, question mark?
What? Wait, are you telling me that MCU actors want more money?
It turns out people like money.
Yeah.
You use it for the exchange for goods and services.
Anything from Disney Plus is that people enjoy money a lot.
People enjoy money. They like them.
Sweet.
Boats.
Love
More
it.
boats. More boats. Now, this comes from CBR, and so I'm going to preface, this is a rumor, grain of salt, but there is a rumor that a long-lost MCU character could be returning to the Disney Plus She-Hulk series. Freelance journalist Danielle Richtman reported, while it's early, I have also heard they plan to have General Ross and She-Hulk, and maybe even bring back Liv Tyler as Betty Ross. Tyler was last in the MCU back in 2008's The Incredible Hulk. Why are you laughing?
I'm just thinking, like, they had the perfect opportunity. She got snapped, and they just forgot to bring her back. Like, he's like, you know what? It's kind of awkward now. We haven't talked in a while. I'm going to bring everybody back.
Oh, you can't leave your ex in the snap.
Oh, but that would be hilarious. Though. All the people. He's like, no, right before you told me to concentrate.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sorry. It's like when you get an award and you don't thank your wife. It's like, ooh, it was under pressure.
I don't think it was malicious, but at the same time, he's like, I don't want to deal with the drama. Like, everybody but Betty, boom. That's what he did.
It's a big world.
No more alimony.
They weren't married.
I am not the father.
He does a Maury dance.
I desperately need neither of you to ever get powers. Is what we're learning today on this panel is that neither one of you can be trusted. I'm going to track down all your exes and tell them to watch out.
No whammies.
Well, and so supporting characters from previous MCU movies are confirmed to be on some Disney Plus series. We've got Darcy. Darcy's back, baby. Meow, meow.
You were on your own with that one, man.
You're not excited about Darcy?
Not in the slightest.
No, Darcy from Thor, right?
Yeah, Darcy.
Yeah,
Thor.
I think a lot of people are excited for Darcy to be back.
Don't get me wrong. I am not one of them. I feel like she was in a different movie than everybody else every time, and I was not there for it.
You weren't there for the Darcy movie?
I feel like she was the symbol of Earth, though, because, obviously Natalie Portman was such a scientific, officious sort of character, so she, had a little remove from regular life, and, like, Darcy was just like, hey, she was the one that had to get home for wheat cakes or whatever.
It was one of those things where she kept saying meow meow, like, it's meow meow, it's funny. It's like, I know, I heard you the first 65 times. It is no longer cute. It's not like, it's like when the 3-year-old says Paschetti 100 times, like, say spaghetti, now you're just being ignorant, and I don't like it.
Oh, man, keep you away from ex-girlfriends and children. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Hide your kids,
hide your wife.
I'm gonna snap them all, baby.
Billy this and everybody out here, dog.
None of you can be trusted. So yeah, we've got a lot of other characters who are going to be coming back. Again, people like money. Money is good. Mm-hmm. Aside from the fact that you would snap her and leave your ex-girlfriend decimated, what do you think about the possibility of Liv Tyler coming back as Betty Ross? Betty Ross.
Betsy, she's just stitching a flag.
Stitching flags.
That's where she's been the whole time. She's in the past
Happy
making
Indigenous
the
Peoples
flag.
Day.
I actually think that, like, as soon as General Ross came back in Civil War, I was like, okay, so we are counting the Hulk. That was, like, my first inclination that we were going to keep it. If that's the case, like, they set up I like the Hulk a lot. I actually like the Incredible Hulk movie a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, I was kind of pissed that it was like, no, don't worry about that. They set up a lot of cool stuff in that movie with, the leader was in there.
Yep.
We never got it. Like, Abomination is just like, we know he's locked away. They were going to bring him out for Age of Ultron, and then that didn't happen. It's like, there's so many cool things. So if we're willing to acknowledge the existence of our bastard Jon Snow child of a movie, like, bring him in.
You want all that stuff back?
I want it all back. I want that movie to count again.
Right. Mm-hmm. And to further that point, the whole thing about the leader, a smart gamma irradiated person against an also smart gamma irradiated person. I love the dichotomy of Hulk, who doesn't think too much, fighting somebody who's super smart. But that's sort of the Superman Lex Luthor thing. How about we see a smart lawyer lady against a devious mastermind?
Right.
That could be super fresh. And also, I think I won a movie fights point one day. One of the rare times this ever happened.
Yeah, when's the last time you won a point on movie fights?
I already feel terrible.
I'm getting mansed all over the place.
Ed snapped his points all away.
Okay, but one of the few times ever that I won a point on movie fights, I would talk about how like the Abomination, like, where the hell do you store that guy?
Yeah.
He beat the Hulk's ass in the street for 20 minutes. And so where are you going to store this guy? Finding out where that is, and maybe he gets de-hulked for a minute, and we see Emil Blonsky again and Tim Roth acting up a storm and a thing, and then maybe getting his powers back as an agent for the government to go against She-Hulk or whatever.
But we've also gotten so much better at Hulkizing people, like CGI-wise, since 2008, that maybe it can actually look a little bit like Tim Roth this time.
Or he's Tim Roth for a lot of it, so we can save some of this cha-ching, So maybe he can Hulk out on demand.
Disney Plus, spared no expense.
I think we're not too worried about the ching-ching. I think Disney is well in hand with the ching-ching.
But I think Disney is also very good at using their ching-ching, because so many other competing entities have spent a lot of ching-ching on some crap. So I think that they do well to like maybe have Tim Roth it up a little bit, have Mr. Orange in most of the episode, and then boom.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a money thing so much as like if you have Tim Roth, like don't hide your Tim Roth. If you got him.
Yeah.
Which we know now. Maybe we didn't know in 2008 as well.
Oh, that was a hard-earned lesson. Hard-earned lesson.
That is saying that Blonsky is apparently somewhere in Alaska, according to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, according to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
Thank you, chat.
Sure.
He's somewhere in
I
Alaska.
believe this freelance reporter from CBR more than I believe canon from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually counting towards the MCU. But sure.
If they're bringing back Incredible Hulk, maybe the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I can't finish that. I can't finish it. I started it and then I couldn't.
There's a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. people with their arms crossed in Alaska guarding a giant vault door.
Oh, such a bummer. I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't dislike. I've said it many times. I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the moment that they realize, like, guys, let's stop trying to make this like Sif connections to the MCU. Let's do our own thing, and if you want to believe it exists, great. If it doesn't, great too.
Well, and speaking of Sif, see more people that could come back. Do you think it's weird that for some of these folks, it might have been like a decade since the last time we saw them, and now they're going to be back in the fold? Or do you think that that's just how life works?
I think life, and I think that's fine. And I think we should bring more obscure characters back. Bring back the male secretary that was replaced for Black Widow and Iron Man 2. He's got an axe to grind.
I mean, you know what? You joke, but it actually worked really well for Far From Home. And I was like, oh my God, is that the actual guy? Like, I never would have thought that little Ralphie who got his BB gun on Christmas ended up working for Obadiah Stane. Like,
He did. He could not build that, whereas Tony famously built it in a cave.
Right. You'll shoot your eye out in a cave.
So there's also, I talked about the huge download of all of the stuff that's going to be coming to Disney Plus. They basically put it out over tweets over the course of like 2 hours. Now everybody's talking about it and sharing all them posters. It's huge. So was there anything in there in particular for you that stood out that you're super excited about?
I guess I was confused because I thought that they had released like a very readable non-BuzzFeed list of all of these shows like 3 weeks ago. So to just like click next to get what was coming is like, yeah, I know. We've been talking about it for a really, really long time.
Yeah, I wish I had looked at the thread a little more. They threw up The Mandalorian because I was like last minute, like, okay, yeah, The Mandalorian. That's the one I'm excited for, whatever. But there was also one not excited for Heavyweights.
Yes,
No,
Heavyweights is the greatest comedy of all time.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, you have Billy.
Heavyweights is the greatest comedy ever made.
That's Billy's money.
Oh, The Rocketeer. Eric was saying this, and I agree. Like, if you love Captain America, this is same director, kind of same time period. Really fun movie that a lot of people probably haven't seen.
And on some level, a tiny bit less hokey. Oh, boy.
That's my jam right there. And I am
It's like
in.
Star Trek: The Next Generation presents Disney's Gargoyles. Like the whole cast is all TNG people, pretty much.
That's a lot of them, yeah. Oh, I'm so ready for Gargoyles.
Oh, and one obscure title. This is ridiculous because it was on Discovery Channel like years ago, and now Disney Plus has snapped it up. But it was called Shark Island.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Sharks of the Lost Island. Yeah, and it's like an exploration of like this like group of like great white sharks. Right? I'm a sucker for like we followed Betsy, Johnny, and Jimmy, the great white shark gang, around this island for a while and watch. Oh, one of them came up dead. One of the killers is a killer whale, and then they do this whole like like the things they do with penguins, but with real cool animals.
Oh, what are you saying? What is happening this morning? Is it a case
So
of
this is
it
like
the
the
Mondays?
Wu-Tang
What are
Clan
we
show
doing?
that you were telling me about, but with sharks.
Yes, the RZA, the Jizza, the old dirty great white. Yeah, dude, I love that. I love it. I love stuff like that. Nature stuff about predators sometimes can be just as interesting, especially when you see that predators even have predators, and that they have even sharks with their limited capacity supposedly have communities of some sort where the food is. They talk around the buffet. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody just hanging out, water cooler talk.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Anything else that you were super?
I just got an underwater water cooler.
as we see more people coming back for these Marvel shows, I mean, people like if Liv Tyler does come back, like how much more resentment is Terrence Howard building? Just sitting there like, are you kidding me? You're bringing back that person and not you brought back Peter Billingsley and not me? Like,
Well, one could say you can't even do the math on how mad he is.
This is SJU on Fandom. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Hit that bell for the notifications so that you can see every time. Whoa, that was very aggressive bell hitting. It's super aggressive. Wow, what a weird morning.
I wanted to start Monday off right.
We are starting Monday off right. Also, last weekend we did have a movie fights. Saturday's episode was awesome. It was Greg versus Ed versus Dorina. It was great, super fun, great answers. Also, a new episode of Power Levels is coming this Thursday. I have not been given other info about it other than it shall be electrifying.
yes, it is quite shocking. I will say, so we played a clip of it at New York Comic Con. So
jeez.
if you were there, you got to see a clip.
I heard about this.
And without the proper context of this clip, it looks like we created a very mean-spirited video about a fun way to kill a frog. That's not the case. We are, I'm just going to say it because it's coming out Thursday. We're doing Pikachu versus Electro. And what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? Well, we'll actually show you in graphic detail.
Not a real frog. Not a real frog.
Not a real frog.
Animation.
Not a real frog. Not a real
Animated
frog. But it is cool. We learned a lot of things about like you'll be very surprised at just the like damn nature you scary, like how powerful lightning actually is in contrast to these characters because nature is way more powerful than we give it credit for. That's the moral of the story of this episode of Power Levels.
Nice. So go and check that out when that drops on Thursday. Story number 2, they dropped the trailer for Doolittle. This is via Universal. First trailer came out on Sunday. It is Robert Downey Jr. starring as the title character who can speak to animals. This version follows previous Dr. Doolittle movies starring Rex Harrison in 1967 and Eddie Murphy in 1998. I'm very surprised this isn't one of your favorite movies.
What, the Eddie Murphy one? Oh yeah. Look, I will stand on the hill and defend Doolittle, Daddy Daycare till the day I die. This is an abomination. This is horrible. Like the first 2 seconds of this trailer. Wait, go back to like the very beginning of this trailer, JT. That first thing I see is that stupid CGI bird that looks so bad, and then it's like this very intense. And then from the producers of Alice in Wonderland, yeah, that you're 0 for 2 right there. And then you're playing this intense, like I see trees of green.
Yeah,
and you're like,
we gotta stop that. We gotta stop that stuff, guys.
Yeah, this is, and then Robert Downey Jr. is so high on his own supply with whatever like weird accent. It's a little bit Irish, a little bit Cockney, a little bit New Zealand,
A little bit country, a little bit rock and roll.
It's all country, zero rock and roll. And this movie, this is sad to watch. Like, do you remember the movie Funny People with Adam Sandler? And,
Oh.
and they go to his house and he has those posters of the fake horrible,
Yeah.
which might as well have been real Adam Sandler movies. This looks like if I went to Funny People version of Robert Downey Jr.'s house, and this was like, yeah, this was like my Garfield. I just did. But it's like, he has the money. Why would you do this?
He must. That's my question, because everyone is saying, "Why would you do this? You have the money." He
Right.
must really like this property. There has to be something about this property that he likes.
I think actors throughout time have been obsessed with like, oh, what if you really could talk to animals? I know it sounds stupid, but what if you really could? That's a whole new. It's almost like I don't know. I can't even spin this. It's some Aquaman stuff. This is some straight Aquaman stuff, and it's like the yeoman's job. You got to cast Jason Momoa with all the Momoa muscles to really make Aquaman sing. You got to take his ass out the water to put him in Romance of the Stone for 40 minutes in the middle to really get Aquaman over even. And then they expect us to buy this after we've watched him in so many of these great things. But I think actors are intrigued by the working with the CGI, and it's so much being centered on them. The camera's on you and nothing for a lot, and how much emotion you have to put into that. I think acting against green screen is a skill.
Yes,
and some of
absolutely.
these guys know that it is, and he knows more than a lot, most anybody. So I think he thought of it as, this is my wheelhouse. I can do this. Let me flex this, and maybe it's a movie you can show to your grandbabies.
He was so preoccupied with whether or not he could. He didn't stop to think if he should. And the answer is a resounding no. There's nothing about this trailer that even am like, I can't even, there's no benefit of a doubt to even give this piece of crap. Like, I feel offended that
you're
2.5 minutes was put into my brain.
Well, I thought his accent was fantastic.
We're going on adventure. We're going on adventure.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's a lie.
The
Why are
voice
we doing
cast on
this?
this is amazing, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a really
Octavia Spencer and
Octavia
Sure.
Spencer,
Tom Holland.
Holland.
Movie 43 had an amazing cast and should have been
That's true.
incredible. Sometimes you got to call in those favors. All of those people, I want to ask them all personally, like, what were you thinking? I want to
Remember
Chris
what we
Hansen them,
said?
like, what are you doing here? Huh? With my arms crossed, like, why are you in this? What are you
Remember
doing?
when earlier we were like, money?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and plus,
You're in a booth. And
and
you
acting,
realize that you
that's
go
true.
home.
and that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? You're in charge of the voice.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want to with your performance, but you earned your money.
Right.
You sat in that booth and you were like, yes, Mr. Jones, or whatever the hell. You know you
And now
did
you're
that.
a bird or whatever.
Yeah, now you're a bird.
I just look, I get it. It's a kid's movie. This
Yes.
clearly they are not making this for me, and that's fair because I will not go see this. But there's just nothing about it that even seemed, I don't know, even I feel like even as like an 8-year-old, I'd probably roll my eyes at this.
Well, if I were to recut the trailer, I would show the part. They have the line where it goes, "We must embark on a great adventure," whatever. Why? Why do you have to? Maybe people who have read the book know why, but I would just like a little bit in the trailer. What's driving me to have to make a Noah's Ark full of these animals?
That's
and
what it is.
stuff?
It's like, I think what like really puts me off to this is the self-seriousness of this trailer
It
with
does.
the
It's a
absolute
little-
absurdity of what I'm saying. Because like, not even like, you just gave me Lion King like 6 months ago, and those looked pretty photoreal, and now you're giving me like, we're back to Looney Tunes. This looks like Space Jam and Master and Commander together in one movie.
No, because you would see that.
That's true. If Michael Jordan was on like a 1600s ship with Looney Tunes, yes,
just
I would
imagine,
see that.
Bugs Bunny windmill ducking cannonballs through the hull of a ship.
Hey, what's up, Dad?
Well, and accordingly, so there have been some rumors. Again, this is a big rumor episode, so a lot of this take with a grain of salt. One thing we do know, this is via Hollywood Reporter. This is a thing we know. There were reshoots, extensive reshoots earlier this year. According to the Hollywood Reporter, sources say that it became apparent to the studio and producers last fall that the movie needed some surgery. So the director, Stephen Gaghan, is known for Oscar-winning work on layered dramas such as Traffic and Syriana. It was his first time tackling a visual effects heavy production that was also comedic in tone. And so sources say that his cut didn't quite match because you do have Robert Downey Jr. on a soundstage, and then you got to animate them animals around him, and apparently he just wasn't getting that mix right, which is
It's hard to do any
It's
of
really hard.
Yeah, to do any of these movies, you kind of have to be borderline delusional and crazy because you have to see things that definitely aren't there, and you have to be able to imagine and believe that they are. And yeah, I could see that's tough. And what you're saying about the tonal kind of like problems, like that's exactly the problem I'm seeing with this trailer. Like I'm like, why are you selling me a prestige awards drama version of Space Jam on a boat? That seems very strange to me. Like this appeals to nobody. I feel like kids are like, huh? And I'm like, what? Like it appeals to no one. So I could definitely see like they made this and they're like, oh, we kind of don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, they had to bring in Lego Batman's Chris McKay to write new scenes. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles director Jonathan Liebsman had to oversee reshoots.
This is such a weird Rolodex of names to and
to
IMDb.
fix this thing.
Yeah.
And then there was the Reddit post. Someone claiming, grain of salt, someone claiming to have worked on the production was spilling all the tea on Reddit. They said that, very, very bitterly, I'll kind of go through a couple of these quickly. Deep in production hell last year, they started filming scenes before they'd even planned where the animated animals would be standing. It was nuts. And then the expletive deleted director went and got fired, which was a little too late after his insane outbursts and subsequent banning from stepping foot into both the lead concept department and the lead pre-visual. So essentially, this person definitely has an axe to grind with the director.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That's very, very clear.
You know why I believe it though? If this was like the set of Rise of Skywalker was horrible, I'd be like, come on, there's no storming the gates. There's no Snyder cut for freaking Doolittle. Like, it's just, why would you spend all this time and energy on like trying to rally people to a lie about Doolittle? Like, that's kind of why I believe it. It seems just like a specific enough thing. Like, yeah, probably. Like, I could see it.
It's also, I enjoy Reddit. I read Reddit. Reddit is full of lies and liars, and a lot of people who use Reddit as a creative writing exercise.
But that jives with what I'm seeing, though. It's like, I can tell.
Billy wants to believe it's real.
I do believe it's real. Call me the flat earther of Doolittle theories, but I just watched, unfortunately, a very conflicted trailer for a movie that probably has the same problem, and it sounds like the story at least jives with the idea that they didn't know what they were making when they were making it. They're just like, we have a big star, we have this property that kind of gets remade every 20 some odd years.
A prestige director.
Right.
And plus, trying to be funny in period is hard.
Yes.
Tell me a 17th century joke up in this piece. Like, oh, I want to drop my 10 pence and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what an 18th century joke sounds like, dude.
What was the Dave Chappelle Netflix special in the 18th century?
Right. And, I bet you it was about a lot of subjects we can't talk about right now. But yeah, I just feel like...
For example.
No, but for real, it just seems like, getting humor right in period and trying to... Because that's the whole thing about this remake. That's why it needs to exist, is that we haven't taken it in period. The last one in 1998 was in the modern day, using modern day stuff. So it's like, okay, I taped you talking to a duck on the cell phone, and I see that the duck did exactly what you said, so let's go on the Tonight Show and make some money. Like, the movie's over. Like, I don't understand all this consternation. Like, that doofy guy who couldn't even talk to animals had a whole career on the Tonight Show for 30 years. We got snakes pooping on celebrities. He's got koala bears running into the audience. And all this crazy crap. If he could just totally control that environment, have hey, come sit on my finger. You know, all that kind of jazz. I just don't see the conflict in the modern era.
To your point, though, like, it's not impossible to make, like, period. Like, I actually think, like, the first and second act of Wonder Woman has some really funny stuff.
I agree.
And it's more like a modernistic take on, you know, like, it's a little anachronistic, but in a way that's still kind of fun and draws you in. So it's not impossible. But I'm with you, like, I had no idea this source material was anything but like a Jerry Lewis movie from like the 50s or 60s. If there's a book, all right, sure. But it's like, why are we going back to Like, why is it not modernized? I don't know. I just seem everything about this just seems like you made the weirdest, hardest to make choice.
It's more prestige if it's in the past.
It's a series of books, by the way, like a Sherlock Holmes.
It's a series
Right.
of books.
I was about to say it was
Holmes,
some Gulliver's Travels ass stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read books, guys.
Doolittle books. Come on. Come on. Now.
You can't. Come on. Don't animal shame. Jeez.
You just were talking mess about penguins.
Because they're food for the cool animals.
So again, there's all the stuff about the trouble on set, and there's all the stuff about the huge budget, which gets bigger and bigger. Do you think that this movie is going to be able to overcome these obstacles ultimately?
I think this will be. I don't think we're in like a Solo type of mode where like the behind the scenes drama will really affect the box office because parents don't care. They're going to take their kids to a good family movie.
And it's got Robert Downey Jr. in it, and everyone, which that's another thing where it's like everyone loves Tony Stark. This is not Tony Stark, though.
I think for me, like quality or my opinion of the movie aside, the only thing that it looks like, and I don't know what the budget is, but it looks like it could just have a hard time making back its budget if it costs so much to make. That would be the biggest hurdle rather than any sort of like backstage drama.
And it made looks like it cost $175 million.
That's before marketing, so it's like this thing has to
basically
clear
double that.
Yeah, this thing has to clear like almost $500 million just to like make a little bank, which is it's tough. I don't know why they keep doing this to themselves. They make these ridiculously expensive movies that it's like you have to be the biggest movie of the year just to make a little bit of a profit. Seems crazy to me.
Well, and it'd be interesting to see how it does overseas as well.
Also, it's in January. Like, I know, like things have changed a lot. Like, there's no real summer movie season anymore. But that stigma of dumping your garbage movies in January is not 100% gone. I feel like if this was, if they were really going for it, they put it up against Jumanji and Skywalker, but they're not going to do that.
Oh no, I think they know they'd get wrecked. I wouldn't do that. You don't. Those are things you can't counter program against. You know what I mean?
But you say that, but people said the same thing about Jumanji the year that it came out against Last Jedi, and at the time, like we didn't know how it was going to perform, but like Justice League, and they're like, all right, we're just putting our movie out there because we believe in it, and it.
But all I'm saying is, okay, this is Universe 616 or whatever, and Universe 617 through 25, Jumanji got destroyed. I'm sorry, there was something on set. Kevin Hart jogged too hard the morning before and didn't do a good performance in this or that scene. The Rock hurt his arm. Different weird stuff happened. That was a perfect storm for Jumanji to do what it did and to be that good and to have people respect it as being that good. There's a lot of factors that went into that hitting like it did, and I just think that's rarer than we think. I think it's the exception that proves the rule to me.
I kind of see this going the way of Jack Black's Gulliver Travels a couple of years back, where it's like you put at the time like a very huge star in kind of this like revered classic kind of literature, apparently. So I've been told.
Treasure Island, am I right, guys?
Yeah, you kind of try to bank off of that, and I don't know. I think dumping it in January tells me exactly how they feel about this.
One last question.
Sure.
If you could tell an animal what to do, which animal would it be, and what would you tell him to do?
I would tell Logan's dog that he brings to the office to stop sniffing around under my desk for hours. I don't have any food, and I'm trying to get my work done, and he's like right on my foot. So like if I just move my foot a little, like I'm now the office dog kicker. It's like, get out from my desk. I can't see you. That's what I would do.
I would tell Odin to go hang out more with you. I would tell him, look, all of the snacks in the office are located directly under Billy's foot.
Apparently my shoe smells like a Slim Jim or something because he's always sniffing around my feet, and
that's
just stays
a fixable problem.
That is.
That's a problem you can fix.
I'd tell police dogs to read some Howard Zinn. so they can see some of the root causes of some of these things and maybe be a little bit more sensitive at work. You know what I mean? Just like, if the guy isn't cool, at least the dog could be cool. You can just corner some dude in the alley being like, nah, I understand there's systemic forces at play, so I'm just gonna let you hop this fence, but let me tell you something. I mean, I'll never see you on these streets again. You know what I mean? Just a dog scared straight program, you know what I mean? Just a nice, yeah, I'd like that. And I would tell sharks about that pier in Santa Monica, or not Santa Monica, in San Francisco, where people go to watch all these seals, and these seals are just so safe and just kicking it.
Oh.
I would tell the sharks, just go down there, give the tourists a show. Here's a little kid like, look at this seal. Oh my God.
Once again, showing how we abuse power, the minute hypothetical power.
Hey, my first thing was to help. My second thing was to harm. I think I'm lawful neutral.
Balanced, as all things should be.
Did we say it was a Disney movie? I think there's some confusion.
No, it's not a Disney movie.
It's Universal, yeah.
It's not a Disney movie. I think I may have alluded to it, but I'm well aware it's not.
Yeah, it's
maybe,
not.
So it's maybe like I think for Peacock, maybe down the road, their own streaming service.
Yeah, this could definitely stream. I might watch it on stream.
All right.
Not you.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, and in our final story today, we did acclaimed actor Robert Forster passed away on October 11th in his home in Los Angeles. He was 78. He was known for roles in a ton of films and TV shows, including Jackie Brown, which was his big comeback film, led to an Oscar nom, Medium Cool, The Black Hole, Twin Peaks, Breaking Bad, and many more. I know that I first saw him in Jackie Brown, and that was when I was like, I love this dude.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic performance. Their chemistry was off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think made him such a great presence on screen?
There's just kind of like an intangible X factor that some people have that just like draws you to them, and I feel like he was one of those people, like especially his performance in Jackie Brown specifically, where it's just like I believed it. Like I didn't feel like someone was acting like someone and I was supposed to buy it. Like I believe like you are that guy. This is happening to you. I feel that about a lot. He was great in Twin Peaks, which I was probably too young to watch at the time, but I didn't know what it was, and I still don't. He showed up, like he was one of those guys too that like I guarantee you, even if you don't think you've seen something he's in, you've seen something he's in.
Absolutely.
My God, he went from Jake and the Fat Man and Walker, Texas Ranger, all the way up to Breaking Bad. You have seen something that he's in, you know?
Well, yeah, and I think he's one of those people who's like, he was in like Delta Force playing like the bad guy and weird stuff, you know, where you're just like, how did he even do that? Like they even made him play like people who weren't necessarily Irish, let's say, you know what I mean? And which, you know, there's some, you know, there's stuff going on with that. But, you know, the bottom line is he was able to, like Homeboy in Team America, you know, he was able to really do a good job, I guess. What a great actor. But no, I think Forster, I think it's the cool and the straight shooterness. I feel like that may have affected his career because some of the people who are so smarmy and so friendly with everybody, he doesn't seem like that type. He seems like a good guy, but I bet you if he was in certain situations that were whack, he didn't go, oh yeah, let me Hollywood my way around and just you know, turn a blind eye and let's just be cool. I don't think he was that type of guy, and I think it probably affected some of his opportunities over the course of time. And maybe there's something also to the factor of he shows you that being an actor isn't always how great you are. Because he was great the whole time. He was great in Scanner Cop 2. He was great in these things that were beneath him. So it wasn't a factor of who's a great actor. It was a factor of who's hot now, which is why I'm inherently distrustful of when they decide for us, when two casting directors in this town decide this person's the best damn actor. That fool from Clash of the Titans and freaking Avatar.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
I remember when he had
Who's that guy? Remember? That guy had a super year. Remember Colin Farrell? I'm not saying he's on that level, but to me, he's on that level because I saw 5 movies in 1 year with this fool.
Or how they kept trying to force Army Hammer on us.
Dude, trying
and
to
they're just like
trying to
dude,
make
give it
Finch
up.
happy.
Look, you can force Army Hammer on me. He was great.
You can have him. You can have him. Every time that they tried to make Army Hammer the guy, he couldn't.
Well, he keeps putting his foot in his mouth and his foot in other people's mouths. All I'm saying
there was nothing more disappointing than when I found out there was only one of him and not two.
Sure, living the dream world.
I respect that. I respect that point of view, though. Honestly, if there was two Scarlett Johanssons, I'm sure all the nerds would be up in arms. So I get what you're saying.
There'd be a lot of tree movies that had two twins ready to play them. But I think Robert Forster. I don't know if I would go so far as to call him a full-fledged like character actor, but he is one of those actors where it's like, yeah, they're the unsung heroes of cinema. The ones that show up, I think of like Joey Pants.
Yes,
who
absolutely.
shows up. I don't know if I call him a character actor per se, but every
He's a
time
that guy.
Right, he's a that guy who shows a Steve Buscemi. Like he's never going to really open a movie on his own, but he always comes 100% ready, bringing their A game every single time. And I think that there's like a handful of those actors and actresses, like even today, like Judy Greer I talked about is one who like she just comes and even if she's not the headliner, she's going to make you remember what
Judy
she did.
Greer, Catherine Keener,
Exactly.
Some of these they just, and the thing is, but that's what I'm kind of trying to make that point before, and I'm sorry if I obfuscated it with ridiculous attempts at humor, but the point is, other people besides you decide your fate as an actor.
Yeah.
And anybody who thinks differently is addicted to The Secret or something. You don't dictate your opportunities as an actor. You just don't. You show up and you're chosen. And some people get chosen over and over and over again. And then some people get to the level where you're just a great actor that we can afford. We got $6 million. We're shooting for 2 days in the desert. And we need a sheriff, Robert Forster. We can afford his rate right now. Instead of him being a co-star in a $100 million movie. It's the winds of which easily could have been. The winds of fate are a mother trucker. You know what I'm saying? So I just think his life is emblematic of it. You got to keep going though. He got probably the biggest opportunity in his life later in life, and that last 17 some odd years, 20 years has been pretty sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you just keep on trucking, you can get what's coming to you. And I think that we should take that out of his life more than any opportunity he was denied or
I mean,
any of
look,
that.
Obviously, as far as I know, no one at this table knew him, but I don't see him as the type of person that would live with that cynicism.
Right.
I think there's some people who are some actors and actresses who just love the craft and what they do, and
absolutely.
it bleeds through in every performance, and every performance that he's in was memorable. And it's one of those things where I don't think he'd be offended that if you saw him in a movie or a show, you'd be like, oh, that guy, I love that guy. I don't feel like he would be like, I feel like he's one of those actors that means I played my role perfectly.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I disappeared into it.
Exactly.
Which he does.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right. Yep. Rest in peace.
Yeah, definitely.
78. That is a good life, man. It's a real good life. All right, Ed. Tell us things about you. Plug your stuff.
Well, that riff about the dogs was inspired earlier. I'm really happy about that.
You think that going in the act?
Oh yeah, I think I'm jotting that down. No, but
if you guys want to talk about LA Comic Con.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Thank you.
Well, as sort of a dual plug for myself and Billy Business, Nerd Goat and the Hot Takes with Billy Business podcast united and formed a Voltron at Comic Con this weekend on Sunday, and we were in a big giant room that they certainly couldn't fill, but there were way a bunch of people in there to see us do our thing, and we did it live, and we launched our whole new enterprise called Reboot It, where we reboot movies that maybe we shouldn't, but dang it, we're gonna do it. You know what I mean? So I think it was an auspicious beginning, and I was very happy with it. I don't know about Billy.
No, it was great. We got to meet a lot of Screen Junkies fans and just a lot of con-goers who just wanted to hear us babble on for an hour. But we have all the video, we have all the audio. We're editing, putting it together. We'll put it out real soon. If you follow us on social, we'll let you know. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good turnout. We saw some friends there too. We saw Ken Knapsack and Dorina there. We saw a lot of friends. Screen Junkies fan Jackson, who watches us every day. That's his name, right? Jackson?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I wasn't sure if it was Jack or Jackson, but
Yeah, he goes by Jack's
he's
cosplay.
from my hometown of Fresno.
Yeah.
So all the Fresnoites Sorry.
Yeah, and I met a guy named Tyler, who's he's a outdoor education specialist.
Right.
So he like takes kids out and like, hey, this is what a tree is. I know you grew up in the city. This is a tree. This is a fish, not a fish stick, a fish. You know what I mean? So big ups to him. And we just met so many people. One of our Patreon subscribers from NerdGoat was there. You know what I mean? Just like so many of these just cool people that you don't have a chance to interact with. So we got to do that. And again, they got to see the debut of something. They got, it's like everybody says they were at Woodstock and nobody was. Right. Well, these guys get to say they were actually at whatever this was.
So we'll ask you, because we asked this during the show, if you were to reboot Batman, who's the villain?
Calendar Man.
That's what I was saying. Get one that you can get other villains in the peripheral. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Tuesday. This guy. Wednesday.
By
that
the way,
guy.
that Armie Hammer hate came from yesterday's panel also because someone suggested Armie Hammer should be Batman, and I just stop making Armie Hammer a thing.
Well, stop trying to make fetch happen. Yeah, I get it.
Well, Armie Hammer is fetching, and I'm making it happen. We did it! Thank you guys so much. We'll see you back here tomorrow. You have a great day. Bye.